Okay, before I say anything, I just want to put a few disclaimers out there. First, I'm recording this in my closet, literally, so if you hear any background noise, don't worry about it. Second of all, please ignore the timer at the corner of the screen. You can't really see the time when I'm playing on Roblox, so I usually have a timer there, so please ignore it. And again, apologies about the background noise. So basically, what was happening was it was an event run where there were event tunes only from Easter, Halloween, or Christmas. And apparently, this boxten joined. So obviously, we got a fake starter. Let's see how it goes. So as you can see, this boxten over here was being really annoying. It was an event run only, and this boxten kept saying that he is an event tune, and he was obviously rage baiting us. It was really mean, and so since it was an event run, I just said let's go, and I thought he would leave, but he didn't. He practically followed us to the elevator. Look right here, he's doing it here. So obviously everyone started leaving, and I kept saying no Boxton. Everyone didn't want him there. They kept telling stay away and stuff, but he kept entering. He kept entering and entering. He was genuinely getting on our nerves, and you'll see how he's like very toxic later on. I'm pretty sure you've heard of the smart thinking sticker. It's practically what he's going to be using this entire time. It's the most annoying I've ever seen. I kept telling him to leave, but he didn't listen. So eventually I had to literally spell it out and type in saying that he can't leave. And I kept saying sorry, no Boxton, because I thought he was probably, a starter, but it turns out he's a fake starter. You'll see later on. Oh my god, I just realized how horrible my voice sounds. But whatever, I don't care. So people were telling him that he has to join matchmaking, but he didn't listen. He didn't even respond. And he was genuinely getting on our nerves. A lot. I kept saying it's fine because, like I said, I thought he was a starter. But while we were getting ready in the waiting area where you pick your tunes and stuff, it reveals that he has some trinkets that a starter doesn't have. Examples are like the train whistle and a V remote. Train whistle is from Twisted Dial, which if you don't know is a lethal. And the V remote trinket comes from Twisted V, who is actually a main tune, or a main Twisted in this case. So it proves that he's quite literally faking it. But we didn't care at this point. We all left. And keep in mind of this Ginger who's with us. Right now, she's not turned into Ginger yet, but you will. People were suggesting different games, and I was about to say I was host, but we were joining anyways. It was at this point I was genuinely getting annoyed with him, and so was everyone else. But I didn't care until I saw this. Wait, and please ignore background noise again. I said that I was the host, and I noticed he has a train whistle. Look, you get that from Twisted Dial, like I said. And he tried to hide it and accidentally used the V remote. So that just proves my point, that he's literally faking being a starter. Everyone else noticed too. At least I had the actual V remote. And exactly this person here, which is the flight, said that he was a fake starter. Again, keep in mind to the Ginger on the right. She was really nice during the whole run. And I couldn't tell, but I saw that Boxton was griefing her. It looked like it. And then he started trying to hide it by using the trinkets that you'd mainly find from some common twisteds. And I said that fake starters are so annoying. I hated being mean to him, but at this point, I really couldn't care. And for some of you who say it's just a game, it's really not. It was an organized run, and it was an event-only run. So there were no Boxtons whatsoever. I said that I'm gonna support people. My stealth is so OP over here, oh my god. So basically not much was happening over here. Ginger was taking the tapes, Bassy was taking all like the rare stuff which is needed because she's a main toon. Her ability is to give us basically rare things such as bandages or medkits or smoke bombs, etc. Here we completed floor 1 only, and this floor immediately proved that Boxten was not really a starter. At this point over here, I turned the corner. I got jump scared by Tisha, but obviously I dodged her. Slay. Why the hell did I say slay? Anyways, people kept saying that he was a fake starter, which everyone agreed obviously. We saw the drain whistle and the other trinkets. In no way Dandy was for real just selling all of this nonsense. People kept asking him, are they sure that he was new? But he wasn't, obviously. I said to save the tapes for Ginger, but later on in the run you'll see that Boxten will take some more of them. Here we got my favorite floor, in my opinion. I saw this Exon going for the machine, so I kind of felt bad that I took it from him. Basically, not much stuff happened over here. I was just doing usual. I was giving myself bonbons. I was just collecting the ichor. Floor 2 was a free floor with Twisted Connie and Twisted Roger. And unless you accidentally mistake the Twisted Roger capsule for an ichor one, only then he would come out. But obviously, since Boxten was a fake starter, didn't seem that big of a deal. At this point, I think someone opened the Roger capsule. I was trying to get angry saying that it was an event only, which I kind of regretted though, because I don't really like being mean, but it is an organized run. This would have been worse if it was a main run, but yeah. He kept saying he was an event toon and he was literally rage baiting us. We kept saying that he was not an event toon. Over here, for no reason, I just wanted to add friends because I like finding friends on the Danny's World, and I accidentally sent a friend request to the Boxten. Luckily, he didn't accept it. The sprite was defending him. I didn't really know why the sprite was defending him in the first place, because you saw what Boxten was doing, and you'll see more of it later on. I told Ginger that there were some tapes over here. And I also gave her a bonbon, because Ginger's extraction speed is a little bit slow, I think. Over here, nothing much was happening. It was again a normal floor with common twisteds. And yeah, all that. I was just focused on mostly collecting the ichor. I wanted to save up some for V, along with her, like, skins and stickers. One thing I'll have to say though, in order to get V, you have to finish Brightney's Mastery, so I just need 10 more blackouts, but it rarely happens. So yeah. Anyways, I told the others that Boxten was a fake starter. And I also mentioned that I hated being mean, but this is really just annoying. But this is an event run. So I was genuinely getting annoyed. Also, I know I misspelled the word mean. English is not my first language. This whole time Boxten barely said anything. Someone mentioned that they have SB, and I thought they meant as in solar balls. So I asked SBS and solar balls and they didn't answer. I think they only said that because, as you can see the chat, my username is SolarBallsEarthFanXD. Like I said, they didn't answer. Not much happened in this floor either. I was again just extracting machines, collecting ichor, blah blah blah. But then you'll hear someone die. Wait. And look what Boxten said. He put the smart thinking sticker. If you don't know, that's the most toxic sticker. He'll keep using these later on and on and on. He basically never stops. I told everyone to get to the elevator. Ginger asked who was hurt, and I didn't really know, but I'm thinking it was a Bassie. Something like this happened a couple weeks ago actually. I was again hosting an event run and a poppy joined, and she was being toxic. Someone asked for bonbons, and I'll give it to them. Then this guy said Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn. And I asked, oh, as in solar balls flight? Again, he didn't answer. Keep in mind, we had 5 Bassies during this run. But he rage baited everyone so hard that they just willingly left. And when they had to die to leave the run, he put in the smart thinking sticker. By this point, we all were getting annoyed with him. As you can see here, I was trying to get this Twisted Coco to encounter me, because that's what I had to do. I had to finish Coco's quest before the event ended. But I was being an idiot. Finally, this flutter left me alone. And you could see how OP my stealth is here. Anyways, look what happens now. You can see I'm going up these stairs, and you can see me turn the corner. You can see Flutter came out of nowhere and I got hit. And Boxten put in smart thinking sticker. If you don't know, smart thinking sticker is very toxic, and most people only use it when someone gets hurt, just to be mean. I said, like, are you being for real, Boxten? Smart thinking. I explained to him that I didn't even see Flutter. As you saw, I turned the corner and I didn't even notice her. But he didn't listen. For the entirety of the run, he kept doing this. The machines were getting completed, so I was just waiting by the elevator. I decided to help some others to see if they needed any bonbons or anything. And look at this. You can see this yellow and purple Bassie distracting, and this blue, green and white Bassie goes over there to help. And you can see in this frame, look closely, she ends up getting hit here. When she does, Boxten puts a smart thinking sticker again. And then Bassie had to leave, so she let the Twisteds to die. I was about to say no, Bassie, and I was upset, but I saw in chat and realized that she had to leave. But then Boxten kept using the smart sticker. The smart thinking sticker. I told him to stop using it because it was so toxic. But immediately after I said Boxten stop saying smart thinking, look at what he says here. As soon as I type it in, look what's next on the top right corner. Smart thinking. He puts it there. He was literally rage baiting us, and the others also agreed. At this point, I was really bothered with him. The flight was defending him, saying to stop reacting so much about it. But I don't think the flight understood the situation too much. Either that or I didn't understand the situation. I don't know if I was being too toxic with him or not. You could see over here, I was about to say over here for Ginger that the tapes were here, but Boxten took the tapes. So I said Boxten that the tapes were for Ginger. And the flight ended up leaving. He said smart thinking again. He was genuinely getting on all of our nerves at this point. We didn't even know why he was being toxic. Ginger said that I was fine. So I told her that there were tapes over here. So I was waiting next to her for the sticker cool down to finish so I could give her the bonbon. Keep in mind, me and Ginger were the... Spoiler alert. Me and Ginger were the only ones left with Boxten after everyone left or died. So I was waiting to get to the elevator and I saw Boxten camping around it. And other people also noticed that he was camping at the elevator. Now this is where he's genuinely rage baiting us. I'm willing to bet that this Boxten was at least 10 years old. Then he says, who else goes to everyone goes to elevator, by the way. And I say, not really. And I mentioned that he's been here for too long, since he stole the Ginger's tapes. And then he's been here this whole time ever since that part. Also, I just realized how horrible the background noise is. I'm sorry. I mentioned that he should at least help with the machines. And he responded saying, where do you all go when the last machine is completed? Keep in mind, he wasn't even there when I was last completed. He was there literally the entire time. I finally thought he was finished with his whole little argument thingy, but he wasn't. He said, in the elevator, duh, as if we were the ones who were being dumb. I wouldn't say dumb, but yeah. I saw this machine, and it looked like someone was already starting on it. Didn't really know who. Did you see that? I went literally between them. Did Cosmo not notice? Whatever, that doesn't matter anymore. I gave this Ginger bonbon because it not only increases speed, but also extraction speed. No one was going back for this machine, so I decided to do it. Oh, also, if you're wondering why there's a change in the background noise like right now, because I'm literally recording this on my iPad and I have to charge it. It's about to die. So, yeah. I could have used the text to speech, but first of all, I don't really like AI that much. Second of all, I find this whole voiceover thing a little more better. It's also kind of fun, even though my voice sounds very stupid. I wasted my pop over there. I was explaining how boxten was literally rage baiting all of us. And I can't believe Dandy is actually selling this. It's the 8th floor. Like, come on. This Ginger said that she's scared. Yep, I'd be scared too. I was about to run into Tegan and Toodles both over there. You just saw. I didn't really see what Bassie really said to us yet. And this was the moment I realized where basically almost all of the Bassies were gone. We had 3 of them if you remember. But 2 of them, one of them I think died and the other one left. And in both of those cases, Boxten responded when saying smart thinking. Over here I told Ginger that there'd be some tapes because I don't think she has enough. And I also saw how many I had. I had at least 235 tapes, so I felt kind of bad that she wasn't getting any, and I felt like I was basically stealing it from her. So if I found any candy or anything, I'd give it to her. Over here, I thought Bassie wanted to do this machine. And then this Boxten started smiling, and I figured out why. Because you know how Bassie is meant to take medkits and band-aids and stuff? He took one of them. Then Ginger mentioned that she misclicked, so I was a bit confused. Because this Boxten was smiling, and she was complaining how she misclicked. I said, ain't no way he took the medkit. Because obviously he was a fake starter, so I'm pretty sure he knew that Bassies get basically the important stuff to give to us. And he was still smiling. So now I was confused. I asked Ginger if she accidentally healed the Boxten or what happened. I didn't really get a straight answer, but I think it was something bad. I realized what must have happened because apparently when you get hit by Twisted Tegan, she steals some of your tapes. And since Ginger needed tapes to heal the rest of us, it was pretty obvious what happened. She got hit by Twisted Tegan and her tapes got stolen. But at the time, obviously, I didn't understand. I almost ran into her here. Coco's stealth honestly amazes me. Here, Twisted Tools came for me and I decided to run, and I did not notice that Bassie was here. Poor thing, she was typing. So I apologized and I started chasing her. But apparently, since my stealth is OP, it's a bad thing because now Tools started to chase both Bassie and Ginger. And I felt really horrible because I didn't see Ginger over there. And I didn't want her thinking I accidentally griefed her. So I apologized. I felt so bad. I think she died. I didn't know. Or she left. Couldn't really tell. Over here, Ginger was completing the machine, so I gave her a bonbon. Worry about it. And then right immediately, Boxten said smart thinking. At this point, he was not only a fake starter, but he was also being toxic and also stealing medkits and whatnot. Right then, I think Bassie died. I don't know. Or she left. But right then, I noticed that in the elevator no one else was there, so Bassie must have died. I felt, she said in chat how she forgot that she had a band, and again, he said smart thinking again. So now we could confirm he was definitely being toxic, as if we couldn't confirm before. I said how toxic he was, and I noticed that Ginger needed the tapes, so I apologize. I feel really horrible when things mostly go wrong in certain games or stuff. One thing I really didn't like about this run is not only the fact that boxten was being toxic, but also the fact that I had no choice but to argue. I could have stopped, but he was basically being mean to us, so I just, whatever it was, I didn't really care. But I hated being mean nonetheless. Being mean in itself, whether starting an argument or conflict or confrontation, I don't like it. In this scene, I almost was about to hit boxten, and then Louis left and went for boxten. And for some reason, I apologized. Even though boxten was being toxic, like I said, I hated being mean. So it was like engraved in me that anytime something slightly my fault happened, I just had to apologize. Also, don't worry, I think there's some construction going on nearby, so the audio is very horrible in this video. Here I was doing this treadmill machine. Gave myself a bonbon. Again, not much was happening here, and I finally thought that boxten had come to his senses because no one was arguing in chat. Well, not anymore as I could see over here. And we're almost done with floor 9. But boxten is just, he's alive, and he's still being toxic like usual. And keep in mind, this whole time he wasn't really doing anything. He wasn't even helping extract. So I thought, you know what, I might as well start distracting. Even though Coco has like a very normal stamina, my movement speed was still pretty good. I decided I would be back to try and distract. I could give myself bonbons when needed. All I had to do was sprint every now and then. I've only ever distracted as Coco like about twice or thrice. Majority of times they go well. I think twice it went well, and then there was one time where it went really bad. But I decided to try it again, and I was actually doing pretty good. I was happy with myself. By now, I was practically just waiting for Ginger to finish the machines because boxten hadn't done anything during this entire run. So I stopped distracting for a while just to take a break. And this is the part where I had to go AFK. So I wanted to decide, and I was about to type in saying I was going AFK, but then the Twisteds kept seeing me. And then I lagged, and then I did something stupid. Instead of going off AFK, just then Tisha came towards me. And I was running around the stable hoping that she would be thrown off trail. I didn't see her next to me, which I thought was weird, until I realized I was lagging, and I immediately died. And when I did, boxten said smart thinking. I just stood there. I didn't even press the skip results button for a while because by that point I was genuinely annoyed. He said smart thinking and smart thinking, and I apologized to Ginger because now she had to deal with him. And he kept spamming the smart thinking sticker, being toxic. And I said that he was being toxic. And just to put salt on the wound, Dandy decided to throw in a smoke bomb there when I had just enough tapes. At this point, I was just spectating. He was smiling also. He was happy about it. He was really creating us. And by this point, I was honestly annoyed with it. So I wanted to... This is really funny. I said crusty, musty, dusty, our box, and look at what it rephrased. It rephrased it as, that box looks so old and messy, lol. It was just, it's funny. And then I said that I'm gonna like spectate Ginger and help her. I didn't really know how to spell spectate, so tell me in the comments if it was correct or not. And then at this point, I think even Ginger was annoyed with his shenanigans. Because she wasn't taking any tapes, so obviously I knew she was gonna do something. She was gonna Alt F4 herself, basically. She's gonna try to get hurt on purpose because we both were just genuinely done with this boxten. I complained about how he took the med, was toxic and overall horrible. And I saw over here in this scene that Ginger was harming herself, and she said that she quit. And again, Boxten put a smart thinking sticker. He was rage baiting us. He kept putting smart thinking stickers. And I said that he should just solo. I don't know if Ginger was trying to grieve her or grieve him or like, get it twisted to her. But either way, I just said yes. And now she finally left. And I mentioned how Boxten deserved this. And even after he saw, he kept saying smart thinking, like an idiot. And I was about to say something really mean over here. But then I realized no, because it's really not who I am. I was just being annoyed over the game. He said thank you and smiled. And again, I was about to type in something mean, but luckily it got blurred. Anyways, I was done. I honestly hope that Boxten just like died in the game, because I didn't know. But anyways, that was it. That was my next half an hour of entire suffering. If you enjoyed this video and also seeing me get rage baited, consider liking and subscribing. And also, if it's not too much, consider joining my community also. I've just recently started. I was wondering if I could get more people to join. If it's not too much trouble, of course. Anyways, I platonically love all of you guys. And yeah, have a good day or good night. Love you.